भाई ये एक चीज नोटिस नहीं करे आप लोग, ये पूरे कोर्स में जो सो वी वी हैव वेरी two people, they spend lot of efforts, Mr. Shahid and Mr. Mannan. So every day they call, they follow up the people and really appreciate them. Okay, so let's start it. So okay, so still yesterday what we covered. So if you see here, so in the switching, we covered the VLAN. Okay. The first thing is VLAN. Next is trunk. Third one is VTP, right? Fourth one is STP. STP with its flavors and all. Okay. Then fifth one is Ethernet bundling, right? So these five topics are very clear. And there are few initial topics like initial configuration of switches, routers, um, creating the user ID, connecting with the console, giving the host name, interface. So those things are like they all covered here already. So there is but if anyone never practice, so they should go with that initial configuration. So, like in the group which we created just now, so I'm going to share some very useful information. Like if anyone they never work on switch router, so all the simple notes I'm going to provide that. Okay, so that is one. So what left? So okay, so what we discussed yesterday is let's say you have two switches. Okay, not two. Let's take one switch. Okay, so. Um, Okay, so we have one switch. So and we understand that creating the VLANs. Okay, so I took the two machines. Okay, and I connected them like this from here to here and from here to here. Okay, and let me give the IP address for this machine. Okay, 192.168. Uh, 10.1 10 let's say 10.10. Okay, slash 25 slash 24. Similarly, let me give this machine another subnet 192.168.20.10. Okay, so what I'm expecting is this machine IP address is 192.168.10.10. So I'm putting it into the VLAN 10. Okay, and this machine 192.168.20.10 I'm putting onto the VLAN 20. See, right now there is no VLANs. Okay, there is no VLANs, nothing. So now I configure this version. So I'm going to create the two VLANs. So let me go to the switch quickly. So can you see in every lab we repeat all the stuff. So see, I'm right now I'm in the switch, right? So I'm in the switch. Let's say configure. Always use the host name of the switch so that it will. If you have multiple switches, so you will be understand. Okay, now what I want to create two VLANs. VLAN 10. Okay, you name as a array. Okay, exit. Then create the VLAN 20, and give the name blue. Okay, so if you go and check show VLAN, so you can see here I have a red and blue VLAN. So what I want first machine to be assigned in the red VLAN interface, fast Ethernet 0 by 1. Okay, switch port mode access and switch port access VLAN 10. Okay. And similarly, another port I can use the arrow mark and I can use the same command again. VLAN 20. So if I go and check show IP interface free, sorry, if I go and check show VLAN, so you can see I got this one. So now, okay, now see here the spanning tree. See how the spanning tree is now taking the time, listening, learning, forwarding, and all. Okay, so now my question is, can I from this machine, from this VLAN 10, can is I'm able to ping to VLAN 20? Okay, let's try that. ipconfig ipconfig. This is the ping 192.168.10.20. Sorry, 20.10. The another machine. No, it never ever be ping. So if I go to this machine, IP config, first always check what is the IP address of this one. So let me ping the another 192.168.10.10. No, it will never ever ping because you know what, this machine, it's it is belongs to the red VLAN. Okay, this is a red VLAN. Select the color and fill color. Okay, fill the color. Yeah, this machine in VLAN 10. Okay, and the another machine, it is in VLAN blue. Okay, this is in VLAN blue. So see, whenever say the new separate VLAN, it means that separate network. Okay, every VLAN should have a separate network, right? So now how can I communicate? Right now the question is, how can I communicate to them? I want the communication. So what we understand with this layer 2 switching, so every VLAN should have separate network, and if you have within a red VLAN, if you have 10 machines, they can talk to each other. If within a blue VLAN they have 10 machines, they can talk to each other. But what about connecting two different switches, two different networks? If you want to talk to VLAN 10 to be talk to VLAN 20, what required? So the first thing here is the place our next topic is coming to picture, that is called gateway. What is gateway? Gateway is nothing but this is an interview question. What is gateway? Gateway is entry and exit point of any VLAN. Entry and exit point of any VLAN. Okay. So gateway is required. So what will happen? So if you want to configure if you go to this switch, if I go to this switch, okay, here. If I go check here, so currently I don't see the MAC address, so I need something there. Okay, so VLAN 10 cannot talk to VLAN 20. Why? Because they are different network, right? So what I want is, initially they come with something technology. So you need some layer 3 device. You need a gateway because entry and exit point has to be done from the gateway. So there is something called a router on stick. So what I want is to communicate between these two networks, two VLANs. I want to connect. I required a router here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the router. Okay. So I'm connecting from here to the router. Okay. So by default the router interface will be shut down. So this switch interface, it is connected to. So what I need to do, I need to go to router now. Okay. The first thing first. When you start any router, so it will ask any dialogues. Just say no. So I'm in the router. So let me give the name of the router. Let's say router on stick. Okay, so I have given the name. So if you go and check show IP interface brief, so you can see router will have less ports, switch will have many ports. Okay, so why the router? Because router is a layer 3 device. This is a layer 2 switch. So when what you want to communicate, you want to communicate one network to another network, one VLAN to another VLAN. So layer 2 will come into picture. So your layer 2 switching will not help here. So you require a routing table. Right now you have only the CAN table here in the switch, but you need a routing table to route the between this. So this is the place we will understand the routing. Okay. So first let's what you require. So first thing, this interface, particular interface, I need to make up. So config terminal interface fast Ethernet 0/0 and just say no shutdown. So if you see that, so that interface is up now. Okay, but this is not done. So what you need is, so you need to make this this is the physical interface, right? Which is connected to the fast 0/0. So you need to make this interface the sub interfaces. You need to create the sub interfaces and assign the VLAN gateway here. So VLAN 10 gateway here and VLAN 20 gateway here. Then what will happen whenever the VLAN 10 machine he want to talk to VLAN 20? So first when it go, so what will happen later to switch? It will say what is the source 192.168.10.10. Where you want to go? 192.168.20.20. So I don't know. Just go to your talk to your gateway. So it will go to the gateway. Router will see that okay, he's from VLAN 10 and he want to go to VLAN 20. He will check its routing table and it will pass the traffic. So this is how it will work. So if I go here, so what I need to do here on the router side, I need to create the two interfaces. Okay, so I will go interface fast Ethernet 0 by 0 dot 10. See, I'm creating a sub interface. This is called a sub interface. So here I need to define um, here I need to, okay, let me make it larger. Okay. So here I need to say encapsulation one queue. Which dot one queue? So I'm creating for the VLAN 10. Now put the IP address 192.168.10.10 or 10.1. This will be your gateway of VLAN 10, right? No shutdown. So you don't need to, this is no shutdown. So if I go and check here now in the router, show IP interface brick. So can you see here now the new interface came and it is called a sub interface. So this is nothing but a gateway of VLAN 10. So similarly, I need to go and create another gateway 0 by 0 dot 10. See, if you go and put the question mark, can you see here this many sub interfaces you can create. So better we take the VLAN identification. Like I have a 20 VLAN, so I'm creating that another gateway. So again, I need to give the dot one queue encapsulation dot one queue, give the 20, and here the IP address of the VLAN it will be 20.1. So this is done. So now when you create the two interfaces, so see this is the router. So if you go here, show IP interface brick. So it has the layer 2. So now router, what does router? Router does the routing and it maintains a routing table. Show IP route. So can you see here? So by default, what router will do is all its directly connected networks. 10 right now, how many networks connected directly? 10 dot network and 20 dot network. So default behavior of router is by default it it stores the routing routes the network which directly connected. So right now 10 and 20 these are directly connected to the router. That's why you are seeing it is in routing table. So now from the router, can I go and ping to the below machine 192.168.10.10? No, I'm unable to ping. Okay, so can I go from this machine? Can I try to ping my own gateway? Let's say that gateway, right? 10.10, 10.1. Can I ping? No, I'm unable to ping. So you know something is missing here. So what is that missing is there is in while mentioning the IP address, there is something called gateway. See, default gateway. Every LAN, every network should have a gateway. Even if you have a Wi-Fi device, let's say I will show you here. I have the Wi-Fi connected here. So if I go and check in my local machine IP config, so can you see here? So every Wi-Fi and every machine you should see. Can you see here? This is my wireless. Okay, can you see here? Wireless LAN adapter. So I got 192.168.0.101, but can you see here the default gateway 192.168.0.1? It will be the same subnet. Same subnet, the one IP will be the gateway. So that's the mean. So here you need to define the gateway 192.168.10.1. This is my gateway. Okay. Now can you try to ping now? You know, first few packet will always drop because ARP entries will happen. So switch and router they will try to learn the ARP, and if it is still not ping, then it's good. We need to troubleshoot. This is what the real time is. Okay, now it is not pingable. Okay, let's go and check here. Here also let me define the IP address 192.1 the get 192.168.20.1. Okay, 20.1. And here let me verify the gateway 10.192.168.10.1. Okay, so this is done. So from the router, so let me go to the router, and from router can I Can I ping to the machine? No, still I am not able to ping. What will be the problem? What will be the problem? Because I have the gateway defined in the system. I have the routing table, so IP route. Okay,
Port shut,
192.168.10.10 at 20.
interface shut or no shut?
Okay, okay. So you remember, you see, no, okay, that, okay, if you want me to shut and not shut, let me do that. Terminal. Let's see who is the genius here. First Ethernet 0 by 0, and let me make it shut down and make it no shutdown. Okay, show IP route. Okay, again now I'm pinging 192.168.10.10. No, I'm not able to ping that. Okay, so can someone look at the diagram and try to think that why to see the router is trying to ping to this machine, but he's not able to ping. From this machine, I'm trying to ping to the gateway. Still, it is not able to ping. So what will the problem? So
Switch port.
exactly. So if I go here, so the switch port which connected to the router show IP interface 3. Okay, the third interface. So it should be trunk, right? Because it is passing multiple VLANs. It is passing multiple VLANs, 10 and 20. So that's why I need to make interface first 0 by 3 switch port mode trunk. Okay, and you can define that. See, in the trunk, there is one more command: switch port trunk allow VLAN 10, 20. See, you want to pass only 10 and 20. So can you see here? So with this trunk, only these two VLAN will be done. So if you go and check show interface trunk, so can you see here? It is now specifically this trunk is defining only 10 and 20 traffic. So can I go? Okay, now can you see here? It is now number light. Okay, now can I try to ping now? Okay, can you see now? It's pingable. Similarly, if I go and ping here 20.10, first ARP entry will get resolved. Okay, now I'm able to ping. So if I go and check here, show ARP in the router. Can you see here? So router got the ARP entries. This is the 10 dot machine. This is the 20.10 machine, and their MAC addresses, and they belongs to the 10 and 20. So if I go here to this machine, can someone please mute? If I go here in the machine, first always now see here IP config. So if you see here IP config, so currently it is this one. So gateway. So always try to ping your gateway first. 192.168.10.1. If your gateway is reachable, then fine. So now you need to try that another end machine 20.10. So yes, you are able to ping now. Two different VLAN. VLAN 10, VLAN red is now talking to VLAN 20. And why it happened? Just because of the gateway. And if I go and say reset 192.168.20.10, how it is going? So you know what? Any another VLAN traffic. So first the traffic will go to its gateway. So gateway is any entry and exit point of VLAN. So 10 dot machine, it will first pass the request to the gateway, and gateway is nothing but the layer 3 device. It has to be configured on the layer 3 device, a router or multi-layer switch. So now router understand this one, and now he is able to ping that. And when the traffic go here on the getaway, so gateway router, what does router do? It will check the routing table. It will check 1 second. Let me see. Who are you? Okay, 10, I am 192.168.10.10. Okay, perfect. I have your entry. Where you want to go? I want to go 192.168.20.10. 1 second. Let me check in my routing table. Okay, 20.2. I know that. Okay, show R. 20.10. You want to go right? Okay, you can go there. Now it will pass to the switch, and from switch it will pass here. So this is the path. It will go here and from here. It will go from here to here. So like this, let's say you have 100 VLANs, 100 VLANs here, and like this, let's say tomorrow your organization got pro and you connected like this another building, and from here another building, another building. So and you connected with multiple always switch to switch, always we connect trunk. So don't forget this trunk. From this trunk it is connected, from here it is connected. Okay, so these are different buildings, let's say, and here you have VLANs. So let's say 10 VLAN will be here in all the floor. So if the VLAN 10, if it is here, so if you want to talk to this building VLAN 10, so or this machine which is a VLAN 20, so all the way he need to pass here and he need to come to the router, and from router it has to go. Okay, now it means that if VLAN want to talk to another VLAN, we understand that it has to go to the gateway, and gateway should have a router, or gateway should have a route to reach to another VLAN. So that we understand. Now, my question to you, that what is the disadvantage you are seeing in this diagram? What's the disadvantage you are seeing in this diagram? Can any ping pong? No, no one. Who is RJ? Raja. Who is RJ? Is I'm horrible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Actually, yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So my question is, what disadvantage you are seeing in this diagram?
There are too many switches, sir.
अरे ये disadvantage थोड़ी है भाई. आपके पास जो आपका LAN improve हो रहा, so you can connect thousands of LAN switches. That is not a disadvantage, right? You have, see, this switch has a 24 port. So you have 50 machines. Then where you are going to connect? So obviously you need another switch. Another building, again 10 machines are there. You need a switch there. Again another building, you need a switch there. And with the trunk, you are passing the VLANs. So that is required. So, but what is the disadvantage?
We doesn't communicate to directly go through. This is disadvantage. Go through router and.
Right. Muzammil, you are here. I think you're coming to that point. So if you see here, guys, if suppose you have 100 switches connected in the right side or left side, okay, and any switch, if they want to talk to another VLAN, then they has to come to the router. So don't you think a single point failure dependency here? Because your entire organization is dependent on the single cable. So if tomorrow what happen, this cable break, is your LAN remain? Is your communication broken or not? 100%. Because now see your cable broken. So are you able to ping now 10.20.10? No.
No, sir. Everything will be gone, sir.
So this is called a single point of failure. So your entire organization depend on the one cable. So this solution, or what you need to do, you need to have you need to purchase the router in every floor and have a separate gateways. So it will be very costly. So this router on a stick, it was the solution before something come into picture. So one thing what we understand, any VLAN, if VLAN 10 if VLAN red they want to communicate to another VLAN, then you required a layer 3, you required a routing there. So you know what, this solution was costly. That's why Cisco came up with a very beautiful thing that is called a multi-layer switch. So let me introduce you the multi-layer switch. Okay, this is a multi-layer switch. Okay, and what multi-layer switch is? It is nothing. It is a switch and the router, both. So you don't you don't require to buy a separate switch. Okay, see, can you see here? So it has the switch port. Okay, I'm connected. The same thing I'm going to connect. Okay, so same machine. I'm just giving the same IP address, 192.168.168.10.10, and the gateway 192.168.10.10.1. Yeah, same gateway I have given. Here also I'm giving the same IP address 192.168.10. And 192.168.20.1. Okay, I have given the gateway like previously what I did. So now let's move back to the switch. This is a multi-layer switch. Okay, so what it does. So if I go here, config terminal, let me view the host name. I will say multi-layer. So by the name, you can see that this is not a single layer. This is not a layer 1, layer 2. Multi-layer means it contains layer 2 and layer 3. It build with capability and with the switching capability. Okay. So now see here. Now let's see the switching capability. If you see here, it supports show MAC address table and also show IP router. See, it does routing as well as switching. So now if you go here, show IP interface brief. So it has all the interfaces. So now what I'm going to do, I'm getting two VLAN 10 name array. Okay, then exit. Then now I'm creating another VLAN 20 name, let's say blue. Exit. Okay, now if I go and check show VLAN, can you see here I have the same, it is a switching like what we did before. Okay, let me assign the interface to VLAN. Interface first Ethernet 0x1, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 10. Okay, exit. Now I'm going to another interface, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. Done. So now if I go here, show VLAN, so it has the same capability. So now can this machine, okay, see right now the spanning tree, see it supports the spanning tree also. Whenever you see the slowness here, it means it is not orange color, actually the spanning tree is running behind that. Listening, learning, forwarding, those states remind yesterday's lecture. So those who not attended yesterday's lecture, so go on YouTube and see that yesterday's video. Okay, now if I go to this machine, what is the machine IP config? Okay, can I go to ping 192.168.20.10? No, how can I reach there? See, the logic is this is a red VLAN, right? This is again this machine is a red VLAN. Okay, and so this is a red VLAN and this is a blue VLAN. So just forget about the VLAN. This is another network. This is another network. They cannot talk to each other. So what we understand, we required a layer 3 capability, right? So I need a router here. I need to purchase the router, but your management said no, we don't have money. You need to solve that issue. So that's why we have the layer 3 machine. So till now it does a layer 2 capability. Layer 3 things we have done. So show MAC address table. So can you see here? It has the MAC addresses. Okay. So even if I go and ping from here, so if we require some, we need to generate some traffic. Ping 192.168, 192.168.20.10. Sorry, 10.10. That's another VLAN 10. So I generated the traffic. If you now just go here on the multi-layer switch and just check show camera, can you see here? It is showing for the this one the VLAN 10. This machine belongs to VLAN 10, and this machine belongs to VLAN 20. So this is the layer 2 capability. Now I need to enable the layer 3 capability on the multi-layer switch. You know, there is the first command. Remember this command: IP routing. This command, okay, before this command what will happen, I will show you. Show IP route. If you go to this command, see what it is showing, nothing. So the routing table, it is showing nothing. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this command IP routing. One second. Okay. So I enable this command. So now just check and go and check show IP route. So can you see previously this screen was not coming, but now can you see previously what it was saying? Default gateway is not set and it is empty, cache is empty. But can you see now it is showing some the routing table is there, but right now there is no gateway. So now I need to configure the gateway. So how you will do that? So if you go and check show IP interface brief. So these are the physical cable. But now I need to configure the logical interfaces. Interface VLAN. See, you have VLAN 10, right? So you are configuring VLAN 10 gateway here. Interface VLAN 10. See, now the layer 3 of logical interface created. Define the IP address here. IP address 192.168.10.1. 10.1, 255.255.255.0. Done. No shutdown. So if you go and check now, show IP interface brief. Can you see here the new interface came into picture? So can I, okay, if I go and check my routing table, show IP route. Can you see here the routing came? So can I ping to the machine 192.168.10.10? Yes, I'm able to ping. Can you see here show ARP? See, it has the ARP entries also. So all the routing capability is done. So it happened just because I created in the same place I created layer 2 VLAN. Also, I created a layer 3 interface also. So where is the layer 3 interface? Show IP interface brief. See, this is the layer 3 interface. Now similarly, I need to configure another interface. Interface VLAN 20. The same thing what in the router, what we did, we on that single cable, we created a what is called a sub interface. You remember, recall it, router on stick. But here we are creating a gateway. So IP address 192.168.20.10, 20.1, 255.255.255.0. No shutdown. If I go here, show IP route. Can you see here two route came? So this is the same routing table what router has, right? So now can I ping here now? Ping 192.168.20.10, the machine of 20. Yes, I'm able to ping. Can I able to ping that machine of 10? I'm able to ping. So why it happening? Because I have a route and I have ARP entries. And also I have a VLAN. See? So layer 2 and layer 3 capabilities in one switch. That's why it is called switch router. So that's why it's called multi-layer switch. It has capability of layer 2 and layer 3. It is a router as well as switch. So now can I go and ping this guy? Yes, I'm able to ping. And how I'm able to ping? If you go and trace it 192.168.20.10. There we go. The same thing was happening. First, if you this machine, if it because it is a VLAN 10, okay, and when it want to talk to 20 another VLAN, so what will happen? The first traffic, first it will reach to the gateway. So you understand the gateway value and why the gateway is important because of this. Gateway is required. Okay. So this guys, this is the multi-layer switch. So in the organization, your layer 3, your core switch will be a multi-layer switch. Okay. So which will have all the capability. So now let me okay. So what we understand is layer 3 capability gateway. Okay, gateway we have seen on the router on stick, and we understand the multi-layer switch, right? So now if you go here, there is one more thing is required in real time. Something called there is something called 1 second. Or let me remove it. Okay, so how the network will look like? Okay, so there will be something called redundancy. So if I go here, Control Z, yeah, okay. So in the previous diagram, what was the advantage there, disadvantage there? So the disadvantage is single point of failure. Again, you have one multi-layer switch. If that multi-layer switch gone, If something hardware issue happened to that switch, your entire network, your layer 2, layer 3, every dependency on the single switch, everything will go. So that's why in the organization, what they will do is we create a two-core switch. See, this is the one switch, this is the another switch. This is called redundancy. Okay. So let me give it a name as a core 1. Okay. This is core 2. Okay. Now, then after this, you will have access layer switches. See, you have one access layer switch here. Let's say one floor here. This is another access layer. This is another access layer, and this is another access layer. Okay. Let's say they are in another different floors. Okay. So from every switch, so the one trunk port from this switch, one trunk port 23 to it will go to core 1. Okay, and from here the same switch, the another port, trunk port will go to the core 2. This is called a redundancy. Okay, this is called a redundancy, high level redundancy. Similarly, this switch, it is going from 23 to 24. Similarly, from here it will go to this switch. Dual connectivity. What is the advantage? So if this cable down, so automatically the traffic will go from here, right? So this is called a full redundancy. So if I go here from this machine, 23 is connecting here to the core 1, and it is connecting to the core 2, right? So like this, the your life will go on. Like you can add n number of access switches. You can, but your entire dependency will be on the core switches. Okay, but you have redundancy there, and you know what? Always there will be. Okay, see, this is your design. Okay, and there will be ether channel between this core 1 and core 2. Okay, so if you go here 19 to 20, see, this will be ether channel bundling, because these two core switches, they are heavy, they are having a just 1 second. Okay, so guys, this is the diagram. So देखते डरो ना. So in this diagram, so generally what will happen? So all your systems, they will connected here to the access switches. Okay, they will connect to the access switch. Okay, and if you have a servers, okay, let's say you have a servers, so servers can be connected to the access switch. Okay, your server is connected, your printers, see, your printer is here. You have every floor will have some printer, every floor will have IP phones, every floor will have some wireless some wireless devices, endpoints. here also. So see, these all called endpoints. See, I don't want to connect, but I hope you understand that. So what access layer switch connected? So in the access layer switch, all your printer, your scanner, your machines will be connected, and they all will connect to the access layer, and access layer will connect to the core switch. Okay, so this is your LAN. This is your LAN. This is your core LAN. So you know the all your services. See these two switches, core one and core two. So if you recall, VTP server. Okay, so like let's say you have printer VLAN, you have phone voice VLAN, you have server VLAN, you have user VLAN. So these VLAN we don't configure in every switch. We make one of the switch as a VTP server, and we create the VLAN there, so it will get passed here, right? So what we understand, so VTP. And now in the core one, core two, so this will be a ether channel. So our ether channel will be done here. So they will become ether channel. Now these interfaces, they will be trunk. See this all interfaces, what you are seeing there, they should be trunk. Okay. Then we create the VLANs here and it pass to all. So what the role of access switches, layer 2 switches, these all are the layer 2 switches. What is the role of layer 2 switches? You just need to log into this switch and assign that port into that particular VLAN. Let's say you connected your technician, he will connect printer to the access layer switch, and he will tell you, okay, I connected to this port, or you need to say connect to this port, and you just need to configure the put that VLAN into printer VLAN. And you know all these VLANs, their gateway will be configured here. Their gateway will be configured here. And you know what, we have a redundancy, so we don't have single point of failure. So see, there should be one gateway, not two. So you will have one gateway. Let's say, see, you have core one and core two, two switches, right? Okay, before the gateway, let's talk about STP. So you understand the STP. So what we will do is, let's say you have 10 VLAN. So for the 5 VLANs, we will make this guy as a STP root bridge, and we will make this guy as a STP root bridge. Okay, so guys, let's do one thing, because I want to finish this. So are you interested to continue more 30 minutes? Can you please confirm?
Yes, yes, we
Yes,
can
sir.
continue. Inshallah, we can continue.
Okay, so Shahid, let's do one thing. Shahid, you there?
Yeah,
Yeah, like we have another schedule class, right? 12:30. So can you put into that group? The class will be at 1 p.m.
in network security.
No, no, no. Yeah, network security.
Okay.
Okay, so because I created the diagram, so I'm like let's finish it, because again tomorrow I need to start again from the basics. So let's continue here. So just put because I don't have mobile with me here, so just put it into the chat, so they will have it. Okay, now let's go here. So all your access switches. So you just need to configure the ports here, printer ports, and these are the ports. So let's do one by one. Okay, so what I need to do first, always your first work is go to the core switch. Okay, and I will go bit speed in the bit speed. So because we have a lot of configuration. So the first thing first, I will give the host name. This is my core one. Okay, done. Then this will be my core two, layer 3 switch. Terminal host name called core 2. Done. So now, if you see here from core 1 to core 2, so all this, if I go and show IP interface brief, so if you go and check, so you can see here from 19 till 24, all these ports are trunk port, right? 19 till 24. So what I'm going to do is config terminal interface range fast Ethernet 0 by 19 hyphen 23 until 24. So all these port I'm going to make switch port mode trunk. So what it is saying right now, it is showing it is auto. They are in the auto mode. So first let's do one thing. We will make them a switch port mode access. First make them access port, then make the trunk port. Done. So now all these interfaces, what I did to show history. See, first I try to first make access port. So because they are in the auto mode by default, so make them access port, then make them trunk port. So now they are all in trunk port. So if I go and check show interface trunk, can you see all these are trunk ports, right? So now this part is done. So similarly, go to this switch, okay, port 2 show IP interface brief, and check here. So it is also 19 till 24 trunk port. Config terminal interface first range command. Use the range command. Range first Ethernet 0 by 19 till 24. Okay. One second. Okay. So sorry for that. Okay, so it will be switch port mode trunk. Okay, see again you need to make a switch port mode access and switch port mode trunk. So all are trunk done. Is done. So interface trunk. Can you see they are in the trunk? This is done. So similarly, now in every access switch you need to go and make a trunk. But you remember that. So by default behavior, by default these ports are in the auto mode. So when the trunk request came from this end, so this guy will automatically become a trunk. So if you want to verify that, go here and check in the switch. In the switch, go access layer switch, go here, show interface trunk. Can you see it? It become automatically, it will become trunk. So here also if you go and check here, so it will become a trunk. Interface, show interface trunk. So you already have a trunk. So our trunk part is done. So the first work what we did, we created the trunk. Okay, so that's the first job. Now the second thing is between this core and core 2. Okay, you need to make a ether channel. So what you are going to do? So 19 and this interface is one second. This interface is 19 to 22 and 1922 and this is 1920. Okay, okay. So generally it should be the same number, but now I think some cables happen, so no problem. So we need to see, that's why we need to make a plan. So which interface will go to which interface. So it will be very helpful for us. So if I go here, okay, I'm in where I am. I'm in the core switch one. First thing is config terminal interface. First create the ether channel interface, right? Ether channel interface port channel. So create the port channel first. Okay, we discussed this yesterday. So we created the port channel. What is the next? Now go to the interface first Ethernet 0 by 19. Okay, and now here say channel group. Okay, one, then mode auto. Done. So one port is the port 19 I put into the bundling. Then what is another port? 22. Okay. Similarly, what I'm going to do, and see by default it will take the protocol as a PHP because both are the Cisco. So auto. Done. So this is done. Now go and check show ether channel summary. So can you see here? We got a new ether channel and port number 19 and 22. These two interfaces, they are already into bundling now. So similarly, I need to go make this switch 19 and 20. See, the port 19 and 20 are should be in ether channel. So similarly, I will go here config terminal into first I will create it interface port channel 1. Okay, give the description also always if you want description connect connected to port 1. See, description will always help you. Then this is done. Then what next is okay, so interface. Okay, you need to create the assign the interface into the bundling. First is 0 by 19. Okay, then say channel group 1 mode auto. So the another interface is switch your port number 20. Done. So now make it channel group auto. Done. So now just go to and here and check show ether channel summary. Can you see here? Both now this ether channel is done. Both are in SU means up. Okay, in use. So now this port number, this two port become bundle. So now you know the between core and core two, your what is the speed of the interface? You want to see the speed of the interface? Check to show interface. See, the fast Ethernet means 100 Mbps. If you want to see that, show interface fast Ethernet 0 by 19. So if you click here, so you will see here the speed. Can you see here? Kangya. The speed. Can you see here 100 Mbps? If it is a giga Ethernet, okay, we have one giga interface also. Show IP interface brief. If you come down, whenever say giga interface, so let me show you this one. So interface show giga show interface giga interface 0 by 1. If you go here, can you see a 1000 Mbps? It means the GB, and you have fast Ethernet. And if you see show interface brief, if you see instead of fast Ethernet, if you see the Ethernet, it means 10 Mbps. Fast Ethernet 100 Mbps. Giga Ethernet 1000 Mbps, and you will see 10 gig also. 10 gig means that will be a 10 giga interface. Okay, 10 gig. You have 40 gig also available in the market. Very high end switches. So that is done. So we make this. So what is the advantage? So we got the 200 Mbps uplink trunk, and spanning tree will not block this port. You understand that one? Previously, it is done. So that's the one thing. So now I need to make some more thing. I need to make a spanning tree. So what I will do, config terminal. So before spanning tree, yeah, there are some global command. Config terminal spanning tree mode rapid fast per VLAN spanning tree. See, so what it will do, it will make your speed high. So it has to be on both switches. Spanning tree mode rapid fast spanning tree done per VLAN spanning tree. So what it will do, it will be make your speed high. So yesterday we discussed about that. We just go and recall that. Okay, now so now we not yet created VLANs and all. Before the VLAN, we need to create the VTP, right? I need to before VLAN. So what I'm going to do, I need to first let's make VTP. So let's say VTP. If you go and check here in the core one, show VTP status. So see, there is nothing, no domain, nothing is created. So first go and create the domain VTP domain CCNA. Okay, domain is created. Then if you want, put the password always VTP password CCNP. Okay, and VTP mode server. I want this core switch core one should be server. So this is already in server by default. Okay, show VTP status. If you go here, so you can see this one. So similarly, now go to this switch, core 2, show VTP status. So can you see this domain automatically came via the trunk, and it is at server mode. So what I need to do, I need only two commands here: VTP password CCNP and VTP mode client, because I want this guy also a client. Okay, because all the VLAN will be configured from core 1 only. So now let's go to this switch. Show VTP status. Can you see the CCNA, that domain already came, but it is in server mode. So I need to give the VLAN, VTP password CCNP and okay, VTP mode client. Done. To show history. So I will copy these two commands because I want these two commands to be pasted in all my another switches. So I will go here, this switch, go to this switch, go to config enable config terminal and paste this command. Done. Go to this switch, enable config terminal, go and paste this command. Done. And similarly go to this switch, config terminal and paste this command. Done. So now if you go and check show VTP status, Can you see the CCNA and it is in client, all in client mode. So let's create some VLANs here, layer 2 VLANs and verify that. And here config terminal VLAN 10 name, let's say user VLAN exit. VLAN 20 name server VLAN exit. VLAN 30 name, let's say printer VLAN exit. VLAN 40, okay, name Wi-Fi VLAN and show VLAN. So I have a 3 VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40. So let's go and verify everywhere. And before that, if you go ahead and check here, so show VTP status. So you will see the revision number is 8. Okay, and total 9 VLANs it is showing. If you go here and go to core switch 2, okay, and check here, show VTP status. Can you see here? So revision number is 8 and total 8 VLAN, 9 VLANs. Show VLAN. Can you see here? User, server, printer, all VLAN came here. So now go to the access switches here and check here. Show VTP status. Can you see here 9 VLANs came and show VLAN? Done. All your VLAN came. So VTP does it well. VTP propagate the VLANs automatically. Show VTP status. Done. All VLANs here. Show VLAN. Done. So what is your role here? In the access switches, what you need to do, you just need to assign these interfaces to that particular VLAN. So let's see. In this access switch, what I need to do. So config terminal. So if you go here, this server in fast ethernet 0/2, this is the user, it is 0/1, and printer it is 0/3. So I need to go to access switch, okay. Config terminal, host name, let's say this is floor 1 switch. Okay, this is floor 1 switch. Interface fast ethernet 0/1, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 10. This is a user VLAN. Similarly, I have my switch port interface, this two. This one, it is my server VLAN. Switch port mode access, switch port mode access VLAN 20. Done. And similarly, my another interface, this is nothing but a printer VLAN. Switch port mode access, switch port mode access VLAN 30. Done. So your job is done. So your technician, he will give the interface. You just connect it like this. And let's say the rest of the interface. So you will have one printer, one Wi-Fi, one something here. But rest of all the most of the interface will be reserved for the user VLAN. So what I'm going to do, config terminal interface range fast ethernet from 10 to 20. I'm making all them switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 10. I'm making them in the user VLAN. That's done. So if you go here, show VLAN. See, your by default all VLAN 1 it is there. So see, these ports are there. So let's say you use these users are connected. So but from 4 to 22. So see, let's say this all interfaces. So if interfaces are not used, so it should be shut down. So what we do is generally put the range command and shut down as per the security thing. So now see, access layer switch. So in this diagram, what are the things we have done? We have covered. So if you just recall yourself. Okay. Okay. So if you recall yourself, VLAN, you created the VLAN, you created the trunk, right? You created what is called STP. You created Ether channel. You assign the interface to the VLAN node. You created the VTP, right? You assign the interface to the particular VLAN. You created the, so all this stuff done, right? So what we do is, so now all the layer 2 capability is done here. This diagram is ready for the layer 2 connectivity. But can this server and this, they can talk to each other? No, they cannot talk to each other, right? So for that, now there is something called gateway redundancy protocol. That is called. So the best thing is gateway redundancy protocol means every VLAN they should have one gateway, right? Let's say server VLAN. So gateway will be configured here. So what is the use of this core switch? So what we do generally, so guys, very carefully, just remember here. So whenever, so there is something called gateway redundancy protocol. Gateway redundancy protocol. Protocols, I will say. So there are three types of three protocol: HSRP, VRRP, and GLBP. So these three protocols are very, called as a gateway level redundancy protocol. So what is the use of gateway level redundancy means? So if this gateway, this core switch went down, so automatically core switch 2 will become a gateway for the server, for the, for the user or whatever the VLAN. So every VLAN gateway you configure here and you configure here also. And one will be active and one will be passive. If one active went down, so it will become a gateway. So that is called a gateway redundancy protocol. So there are three types of protocol: HSRP, VRRP, and GLBP. So hot standby routing protocol, HSRP, this is a Cisco proprietary, and it is used. It is mostly used. And VRRP, virtual router, HSRP, hot standby virtual router redundancy protocol, VRRP. This is a open standard. Let's say you have a below down, you have Cisco switches, and your core switch is a Juniper switch or some other switch. So in that time, you will use a VRRP, not HSRP. VRRP, it is a vendor, it is a standard one. Okay, and GLBP, again, this is also Cisco proprietary. So HSR, these are the three gateway redundancy protocol. You will find any gateway in your. So let's see the gateway HSRP configured. So what we generally do, gateway redundancy protocol is, let's say you have a VLAN 10. Okay, so VLAN 10. So we plan a subnet. So what is the subnet of VLAN 10? 190. First design like this: subnet. VLAN 10 subnet is 192.168.10.0/24. This is the subnet. So first we define a gateway. So there should be there is something called a virtual IP. So the this is called VIP. We define VIP as a 192.168.10.1 will be the virtual IP. Then on the core switch 1, we define 192.168.10.2. And on the core switch 2, I am defining 192.168.10.3. And remain IP address from 192.168.10.4 till 192.168.10.254. These all IPs can be assigned to the users IPs. Okay, and this is the subnet. This and 255 is the broadcast. 192.168.10.255 is the broadcast. It cannot be assigned anywhere. So this is subnet, this is broadcast, and these three IP addresses you need to use in while creating the gateway of any VLAN. So let's go and configure the first VLAN 10 gateway. So I'm in the core switch 1. Okay, so config terminal. Okay, so interface VLAN 10. Okay, I'm creating a gateway. So now what I need to say here first. Okay, say standby. What is the standby? First you need to give the number. Let's say this is for the VLAN 10. So I'm giving the standby number 10. And what is the IP address? 192.168.10.1. This is my standby IP. Not within subnet on this address is not okay. I need to define the subnet 255.255.255.0. Right? Standby 11. Address is not within a subnet on this interface. Okay. Okay. So first give the IP address. IP address of the VLAN 192.168.168.10.1 10.2 we decided 255 then 255 then 255.255.0. This is done. Now define the standby brief. See 10, see this standby done. So there is one more command. So print means there is 10 dot. I'm making a print. Print means what happened. So this is generally we give it on the device which is going to be active. Print. I create print. So do show history. So what I did, I created this three what is called three commands. If I go here, notepad. Okay, so on the core one, what I did on the core one, I created an interface. Okay, and in the interface, first I have given the IP address 20.2 or 10.2, and I have given say this is actual the gateway standby, and I have given the print. Print means if core switch went down and if it come back again, so automatically the VLAN 10 this will become a VLAN 10 gateway. So this is on the core one. So same configuration, I need to do it on the core 2 for the VLAN 10. So if I go here, core 2, so it will be my VLAN 20, okay, and this will also become a 20.2, and this will also become, oh sorry, this is for the VLAN 10, right? VLAN 10, and this IP address will be 10.3, okay, and the standby will be same. Can you see? You remember from the gateway we required three IP address. One we have given 10.2 we have given for one, 10.3 we have given here, but 10.1 this is actual gateway we define here as a standby. So I need to go here, copy this command, okay, and go to the core switch to config terminal and paste here. Done. So my one gateway is completed. So similarly, with the same design, same thing, I'm going to configure VLAN 20. But this time for the VLAN 20, I'm making core 2 as a gateway for the VLAN 20. So I'm just copying this command. So see here. So VLAN, let me make this VLAN 20, and this time VLAN 20, the gateway will be 20.1, and print means whoever the active, we are making the print there. So now VLAN 20, this one. Similarly, VLAN 20, the IP address will be 3 again, and this will be VLAN 20.1, and standby I will remove it, and also change this standby. This should be 20, and this should be 20. So what I am going to do is I'm creating the interface, and this time I'm giving for the VLAN 20 gateway, I'm making to the core switch to have the load balancing terminal. I'm making this guy as a standby. Okay. Now similarly, let me go here and copy this command and use into the core one. Okay, exit and paste here. Done. So I created two. So guys, what we did is for the VLAN 10, I make this guy as an active, and this is a standby. And for the VLAN 20, I make this guy as active and standby. So what is the advantage is, for example, VLAN 10, all my user traffic gateway is this one. In case this core switch went down, so automatically my gateway will become, so this is a for VLAN 10, this is a primary and this is secondary standby, and for VLAN 20 this is a primary and this is a standby. That's the strategy actually. And you know what, if you go here and check the HSRP command, show standby, so standby brief. So can you see here what it is saying? It is saying for the VLAN 10, the group is 10, priority is 100. Okay, so current switch, this switch is active. Okay, and who is the active? The local guy is active. And who is the standby? This. And what is the virtual IP? The actual gateway is here, it will show. And similarly for VLAN 2 also it is same. So can you see they also have the speak, learn, listen, speak, like this. Some modes are there. and finally they will show is it active or passive. See, okay, now can you see here for the I'm in the core switch. For what it is saying for VLAN 10. Okay, what it is saying for VLAN 10, this guy is active. Okay, let me see. So run for to me. Okay, VLAN 20 interface VLAN 20 standby 20. Okay, that's correct. So standby brief. So okay, now can you see here now? So this guy is active, and can you see the virtual IPs are here 10 and 20, and this is the 10 and 20, right? So for core one VLAN 10, this is active for core one. So let's say for example, what I'm going to do is okay, active, and this is and if I go here in this switch, and if I say show what is called show not show show standby brief. Okay, so now see here primary. So for VLAN for the VLAN 20, this guy is a it is also become a standby. I don't know why it is become a standby. I need to do one thing. Okay, IP routing command I haven't given here. IP routing. This command is required in all the switches. Here also config terminal IP routing. Okay, this is done. So show standby brief. So generally what will happen for the VLAN 10 and 20? So this guy become active for VLAN 10 and this guy become active for VLAN 20. So similarly in the spanning tree also we do we make like this. So for example, there is something in the spanning tree config terminal spanning tree VLAN 10 for the spanning tree VLAN 10 root. So this core switch is a core one is a primary for VLAN 10. Okay. Similarly, if I go here and here also I make this guy as a spanning tree VLAN for the VLAN 10. This switch will be root secondary. See, secondary. Similarly, and for VLAN 20, I am going to make this guy as a root primary. VLAN 20 root primary. Okay, and this guy I am making a root secondary for VLAN 20. Root. Done. So guys, this is called HSRP. So what is the what will happen in case see, let's say reload, something happened, so core switch went down. So what happened? So entire traffic, so let's say some data is going on, so you know the entire data, what will happen? So automatically all the redundant links, so this guy will become active for all. See, that's the door. Can you see here for VLAN 20 and 10, this guy will become active automatically. If you go here, show standby brief. So this guy will become active for everyone because it will take some time. Okay, now see here. Now this guy become active. Why? Because the core one is down, and we have given print command. So when core one come back, so automatically the traffic again will pass from here. So guys, this is called a gateway level redundancy protocol, GLPP. So VLAN, trunk, STP, Ether channel, VTP, HSRP, everything all in one in this diagram. So in one topology, you have done all the switching labs. On top of this, what will happen? On top of this, you will have a firewall and you will have a routers there, and you will have internet, you have MPLS. But this is a core LAN technologies. Every LAN technologies this is. Okay, so this is more enough, and what we are going to do tomorrow, inshallah, we'll start with the routing. So this is a complete switching. In last 3-4 classes, we completed entire switching, and this all advanced topic. And see, this is not the end. There are a lot many things in deeper. You need to go very theoretical for the HSRP or gateway level redundancy protocol. You need to do these labs for the trunk, and you need to go each and every interface. So I have another meeting I need to jump on. So let's stop here, and tomorrow 11 o'clock we'll start the routing, and yeah, let's see, we'll continue that. And tomorrow we'll have some speed up class. Complete the routing tomorrow. I have a one diagram, and in that I will show all the routing, because if you go to my channel, I have given you already have a routing details lectures that you can watch there. But in this class I'm just revising things. So hope this class was informative, and कुछ लोग भाग भी गए होंगे नहीं समझ में आ रहा बोल के. So is it understandable, Usman, Riaz, Muzammil?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's understandable.
Yes, sir. Alhamdulillah. We can
Very,
understand.
very beautiful class of today. I really enjoyed.
Okay. Enjoy practice करते वक्त enjoy करना.
मैं really जो है मुझे बहुत कुछ समझ में आया क्लास में. एक्चुअली जो है मैं रियल टाइम प्रोडक्शन में काम किया, तो मुझे समझ में आ रहा कि जो है नेटवर्क एडमिन्स और सिक्योरिटी एडमिन्स के मीटिंग्स में क्या डिस्कस करते थे, क्या है. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, आई रियली एंजॉयड.
Fine. ठीक है, so we'll continue tomorrow, और yeah, do this practice. Practice is the must. ऐसे वीडियो आपको हजारों मिलेंगे YouTube पे, लेकिन जब तक प्रैक्टिस नहीं करेंगे, no one will help you. Okay, so inshallah we'll continue tomorrow.